Hello, hello, my crafty friends. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You really don't want me to sing to you, I promise. It is Thursday, and it seems a little bit crazy that it's Thursday, honestly. It's almost Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to everybody who is a mom. Pet mom, stepmom, foster mom, wannabe mom. Hello, Barbara. How are you? It actually looks relatively straight, I think. So, how has the week been for you? Oh my goodness, I just killed the share. There we go. What I wanted to do. Not exactly what I wanted to do, but crafty friends, there we go. Not sure if it's straight or not. I guess it looks decently straight. I may invest into a different device, which may make it so I don't have to do this all the time. And I made it worse. Oh. All right. You know, it's like you guess when you're doing it from down there. You're up and you're looking at it. You can say, oh, that's better. Anyway, so we're here because finally, we can actually talk about this. And then I had somebody who asked about hydrangea versus some other colors that Close to My Heart had. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll try that and see what I can find in my old stash. So we're going to take a look at Wisteria, Periwinkle versus Hydrangea. I really think if you go back far enough in Close to My Heart that it's Spring Iris. But I do not have any paper for Spring Iris or any of that stuff, so I can't look at it to say, yeah, that's the direction you want to go, or no, that's not. Does anybody have Spring Iris? Lilac Mist, Spring Iris, those were the two that we used to have that were the first things that came to my mind when I saw hydrangea. It looks like periwinkle based on just those colors are the closest, but we're gonna stamp it out and just see, because it was a great question and I didn't have an answer to it. Hello, Scarlett Bernice. Hey girls, one more day to the weekend. Not that it'll be fun for me, because I'm doing inventory and my goal is to get as much of it done as possible. So let's start with this amazing catalog. They have officially swapped over to the 3 catalogs a year, and there's some common sense to it. You have the big one, and that gets kind of put to the side. Hi, Miss Connie. And you forget about the stuff that's in the big catalog. Very true. Then people can't find it, they lose it. So they did some things that were different. This is a lot more product rich and kind of a move sort of back to the product focus catalog versus the last 2 years, which have been more of an experience focused. All right. Shimmer brushes, I just ordered mine. I cannot wait to get them. And just know that there's there. And then, of course, we have our new ink pads, which we're going to take a look at. We have our hybrid ink pad, which is supposed to be the answer to both watercoloring and alcohol, so that you have to have one black. Hi, Pat. So that's a good thing. Yeah. Well, yes, it looked more like a magazine for sure. And this one, we're kind of getting back into kind of a blend of a magazine / catalog. And they did organize things a little bit better, I think. I feel like they did. But it does have the kind of experience, the layout of a magazine more than that. We're used to. Here's our product of the month. I did just get mine ordered, so hopefully we'll get to look at it next week. Crafting grid paper is available for everybody. Here's your paper pumpkin. I love it. Every great creation is just a few steps in the right order. You have your kits, scrapbooking workshops, and some other kits that are a little bit more in-depth. I like the sayings in here. Simplicity is the seed. Creativity makes it bloom. Simple is good. And here's just some different ways that, or those steps, if you will, that here's how you start, next, and then how you finish. For those folks that want to do quick and easy with no stamping, add some stamping. I actually think these are really pretty, these cards, the way they did that. And it's done with just the punch. It's very simple. Sometimes simple is the best. And imagination is the compass, creativity is the journey. Another good saying to, I was like, I need to put these up in little, you know, make them the little like 4" by 4", 6" by 6", and put them up on the wall somewhere, because they are good sayings to have. This I thought was really nice to have a visual of all of your different suites in the order that they're presented in the catalog. Now I put tabs on mine. Does anybody else put tabs on? I don't know if people, I do that just so I can flip, and then I kind of put things. I had a hard time finding a marker that would actually work with these. The glittery tabs is a beautiful idea, not so hot for like being able to write on. Okay. Bloom Boutique is first up. Here are your colors on the side here, which I think is really nice to have. Here are the stamps. It's very differently laid out. Like Bernice was saying, it is kind of catalog or magazine more than catalog. Hello, Jenny. How are you? I really, really love these dies, the scallop circle dies. I always need scallop circles. Dresses up something really quick and easy. And of course, those butterflies are cute. And little gift boxes. We'll get those later on. If you get the suite, that's in the suite, just as an FYI. And then they broke it down with, here it is with your paper pack, your cardstock, a stamp set more designed to work with your scrapbooking. This has a scrapbooking workshop, and praise all that be that instead of having the scrapbooking workshops in another location, they are now in the suite that they belong with, so that you can see the coordinating products and hopefully not do what I often would do, which is order things that I already ordered and I didn't need to have. So no more, hopefully, double ordering. Waterside Retreat. I'm so excited. I finally got this in. It's been on back order, and I really, really wanted it because the paper pumpkin works with it. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear you're doing okay. Yeah. Miss Connie showed up. That's lovely to see you too. I think for all of my beach people or even lake people, this is a great stamp set. The dies, I have some amazing pictures that I'm going to put up from the, I want to call it the convention, but it's not. They call it on stage. That's what it is, on stage. Of how to use these dies, Stampin' dies. Oh my gosh. And you don't even need to have the stamps. The dies work so well. Valley and Bloom. So the two that I bought for this month, just so that I could have, you know, just have a pack and be able to play with things. There's Waterside Retreat and Valley and Bloom. Mother's Day cards, right? Of course, it's a little late to the dance for the Mother's Day cards if you need them, like, immediately. But here we go. See what I can get done over the weekend, or actually tomorrow. The paper in this pack, there's some white specialty paper that is really, really gorgeous. If we get a chance, we'll pull it out and take a look at it, as is the folder, embossing folder. So this is what you would get if you buy the suite, and then it tells you where to go for individual products, which is different. Again, something I kind of like, and I like you have your samples. You have this. Here's that specialty paper where they have just added ink to paper by using a blending brush or a sponge. There's a lot of great techniques in here. And again, this is another one that has a scrapbooking workshop. Stickers and paper, cardstock that matches, another stamp set that is kind of more designed to work with the scrapbooking. And then here's your paper. And just kind of, and this is what's in your scrapbooking workshop, so you know what's in the scrapbooking workshop. They will offer designer series paper that is not available in the regular paper pack. So be aware that if we create something with a scrapbooking workshop for you that has got a guide and that's what we used, you cannot get away with getting just this paper and the stickers. You'll have to get the workshop if you want to have it the way it's been designed for that. Now, sometimes we just use the stickers and paper because sometimes this stuff doesn't work. And you look at it and you're like, huh, that doesn't work at all. Scenic Coast, I'm really looking forward to playing with. Lighthouses, a Coast Guard husband, lighthouses, water, ocean, that's all our thing, and I still have boatloads to scrapbook from that, so I'm excited to see this. And these papers are just stunning with the iridescent foil that's in them, just stunning. And then being able to create the silhouettes, and you can use both images, so know that that's there. You can pop that out and use them in more than one way. Beautiful Ordinary Life. Now that is what we used to make the workshop this month. Hi, Regina. How are you doing, hon? I know it's not easy right now. This is the sweet, Beautiful Ordinary Life is what you purchased. Miss Pat. So this is what I did with that. I used it with the Pooh because I love Pooh. And I just love this. And there's a stamp set that comes in this Ordinary Life that has this piece here that allows you to have this tuck away feature. And you can use this in a scrapbook page. You can use it in a, use it anywhere, guys. Card making. And yeah, the lighthouses are gorgeous. Yes, the lighthouses are gorgeous. And we just finished the workshop, and I'll show it to you. I just got it all put together. I have to take pictures of it, but it is all assembled. So this is our class, a Stamp Out Your Way class for this month. The rainbow stuff is really, really pretty. The workshop that I'm going to show you, though, we actually did it with the paper and stickers and a lot of Cricut cutting. The stamp set, we used to have one of these with Close to My Heart that was similar. I let it go because Stampin' Up came up with it, and so I know that I can use this with our anything that I do. Here's what's in the workshop. Like I said, you just need this sticker sheet plus the paper to do the workshop. I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, Velvet Meadow. Have not gotten this yet, so I don't know. This is velvet paper or velveteen paper that it's crushed, it's soft, it's fuzzy, and this paper has a lot of that. You can see it here in the picture, and you could really see it on the walls when they displayed it for us at the on stage. Again, you have a pretty color combination. And I would have never put Berry Burst in the middle of this on my own, but it sure works very well. This is one of my favorite. We got some of the pieces of this at convention, and I was able to get the paper in. I had the stamp set and a few like odds and ends, so I'm excited about the paper. In the Pacific Northwest, we have a lot of ferns all over the place. It's really beautiful, and some of them grow so big that I had Sarah Gray standing in them, and she's about 5'3", and they were like 3 feet, and just big, huge, gorgeous things. So this is a set that I anticipate being able to use. And here's our first of the fun things to do with our die cut machine, because we're moving into the stamps here. This Opalent Oasis bundle is an impressions die. Now, if you look at this, that impressions die is not blacked out. Like you can see, these dies are blacked out. That tells you this is an impression die. Is everybody following on that? And the same for the frame, and it also will say impressions die, but you have these 3 frames that you're able to use that impressions plate and get more texture and puffiness to the image. Fun, fun, fun. And then here are all the bundles and the prices for the bundles. And then you're flipping forward. This is really a nice stamp set to use, especially with the banner sayings. Just add a quick sentiment to something. Except for, I was looking for a Mother's Day stamp, and like Happy Mother's Day, and I don't think I have anything to do it, which is kind of crazy, but true. Here is your stamp positioner. That's not what they call it. Oh, it is stamp positioner. Perfectly placed. So that's nice that it's here and available right away for you guys. Those of you guys who joined and got it with your kit, that's wonderful. Get well soon. Happy birthday. So I was actually trying to see, not that I can order in anything fast enough to be a Mother's Day card, but I was looking. All the stamp sets individually. This is still one of my favorite ones. You can do so much with that. Some nice art. I do like the way they lined up the art. So they're still giving you the stamps. They did make them smaller. I can't remember what they said the percentage reduction, 50 to 60% of actual size. And you can see ones that have carried over. And if it's new, it has this nice hot pink. What are people's favorite things that you've seen in this? I guess we have this. I guess we could say Happy Mom's Day or Happy Birthday. I don't know. I'm going to be out of work. I'm a job here to figure this out. And here we have our embossing machine and the baby mini. How many of you guys have the mini, and who has the big one, or who has both actually? All of your dies individually. I love being able to, I love this, guys, because before you couldn't like check off what you had. I like checking off what I had to make sure I do not cross over. Here are my dreams, and I put a star when I dream, and I put a check when I have it. Paper Medley. I don't know if you all noticed, but there's a new craft class, and it features this paper and a few other pieces. It's like $35, including it's virtual, so you don't have to leave your home. And I signed up to it because I do really like the paper, and I like wait for the cards to see. Here, this is nice because you get a little snapshot of every single sheet, both sides, so you know what you're actually going to get without having to look online. big change here. So for every one of their color families, subtles, brights, regals, neutrals, in color, and basic, they had these paper packs. Normally they were 6 by 6, but now they are 12 by 12, and actually when you cut them up into 6 by 6, it is a better deal. So know that. Hello, Jennifer. Saw your order come in, saw some orders come in. Your specialty papers that are staying here, new ones. And again, anything new has got the little pink gadget by it. Mix and match things. And here's your mix and match. Now, they are retiring, I think they called Memory and Moore's cards. Pocket scrapbooking or Picture My Life cards is where I'm hung up at. But they're the 4x6 and the 3x4 cards that were available. Anyway, those are now retired. To be no more, which is kind of sad. Christmas cards. I made my Christmas cards from them last year, and they were really, really pretty. Here are your flip flaps. The albums that they do offer, the hybrid, new inks, white inks, embellishments, have a nice snapshot of what they are. These are actually bigger than what they are. So know that what you get is smaller. Adhesives, dimensionals. So all of your tools. And the plan is that in every catalog, all of your basic tools and inks will be there. So you probably can count on, you know, whatever carries over here, like in the back, this core stuff will show up so that you know what's still available. And I mean, they're still going to have the online exclusives, which kind of throw you for a little bit of a loop trying to figure out where they came from. Here are your color families. Anything that you really like. Rumor has it that next year there's going to be a color palette overhaul. Every company does this, so this is not like a, oh my gosh, what are they doing kind of thing. It is something that's absolutely normal. And I really can't wait to see, because I always love it when they do a refresh. It's like refreshing your wardrobe. You know, you buy a few pieces, right, whatever the in colors of the season. And these are the new in colors. And then our next year, our strawberry slush, which is really sad to see go. I'd love to see Secret Sea move into the permanent colors, but we'll see what they do. You never know. And an index, it's back. There were a lot of hallelujahs for the index being back. Lots of that. And of course, all of your cardstock that you can order by collection, ink pads and that, because there's some things that you can buy as a collection and get a discount. All your bundles, all your suites, all your collections have like a 10% off when you buy them all together. And again, another really easy way with this index to check off what you have. So hopefully you will not buy. Make sure you're participating in Stampin' Up! Rewards so that you get 10% back in rewards to your account to use whenever or save them. Yours do not expire. Demonstrators do expire, but ours does not. All right, so that is the Stampin' Up! Catalog. The digital format is loaded in the group, as is, let's take a peek, the online exclusives. Oh my gosh, Pooh Bear, classic Pooh Bear. I love to have the paper copy, which is why I provide it for you. And I think that it will help you guys know when things came out. I really wish they put it on the description if this was a May Online exclusive or a catalog, where it came from, so that you could go back and reference things. Who loves classic Pooh and who does not? That is the question, right? These dies cut out a number of things out of the paper. Both sets of dies are designed to work with the paper so that you don't have to do a ton of coloring. That's a win for me. Of course, they give you a close-up of Pooh and a close-up of the frames. The frames are nesting so that you can cut them out and you can have a mat for it. It's not just, you know, a single one like a lot of the dies can be. Ouch bundle is super sweet. And then they have a beach bundle, which I saw some really super cute things put together. And again, save 10% on the bundle, or you can purchase them independently. And that's how they did this here. Here's your bundle. Here's your individual pieces. That is loaded up into the gallery for you, or the file section of the group. All right, are there any questions? So I let you know that I got the Waterside Retreat in. If there's no questions, I'll give you a second. And the Valley and Bloom. Both of these, I was ecstatic to get before they actually sold out. Any one that you want to see more than the other, Valley and Bloom or Waterside Retreat? We have about 4 minutes left, so I can pull one or the other out. Give me a vote. It's so crazy that I don't get to see the dies. All right, what's closest to me? Valley and Bloom is closest, so except for I don't know where the stamps are at, so let's not go that direction because I just don't know what I did with the stamps. But I do know where Waterside Retreat is, and I truly am super ecstatic to get this in today. Lakeside, yeah, Waterside, that works. Oh, good. So here is these embellishments. You know, these little things are kind of a challenge. The little anchors, which of course for the Coast Guard are cute things. And was it Pat? Pat or Jenny? Somebody needed a set of these and they'd ordered, they were out when they ordered and then they came back in. So I have this set in. Reports were finalized today, so I got the email out and we'll be mailing out your kits. Pat, yes. All right, so here is Waterside Retreat. Stamps and dies. I just kind of want to, I finally have kind of settled on a way that I'm doing this. So I open this up. I have photocopied that just for my own references to be able to look at it, but then I have outlined these on the back, and I've also changed the flimsy sheet with transparency. You can pick it up off of Amazon. That flimsy sheet drives me bonkers. It really does. So that is how I've come to set up those. And then I don't know if I'm gonna, so those of you guys, this is a photocopy of the dies before I took them off of this sheet right here. So the suggestion somebody had up on the board I thought was kind of slick is that if you have the ones that peel off, I have the adhesive backed ones because I was putting them into the dies into the CD cases with the rest of the stamps. Now we don't have that, but this will stick to that. So if you don't want to, when you're done, you don't want to keep it and you're going to sell it, you can take these off and put it back onto here just by keep this, and this will not stick to the, whatever this piece is, sticker, you know, the adhesive is underneath that. It won't stick to it, so you just keep that, and then you can reuse your magnet sheet. I thought that was pretty slick. So we'll run that through and see how that goes. Dies. Those are handles. This little mystery die right here, it goes on the arms of the chair. So you do this, that'll go like that for creating the layers, and that goes onto the arms of the chair so that you're aware of how those cute little things. I guess it took Jennifer, my friend in Canada, who did some amazingly beautiful work that I'm going to post up in the group. Oh my gosh, she's just amazing. A good person to follow, for especially my scrapbookers. Great person to follow. She's a Canadian demonstrator. Okay. So So we have that. So I got a lot of pieces to this. And the paper, I already have one pack out. I'm really excited to play with what we have done. This is $13. There's a $13? Yes, $13 to purchase plus your shipping, handling, and tax. So the cash and carry price for me ends up being like $15. All right. So you can cut these things out. You can make them into cards, or you can add them as embellishments to your pages. You got a sheet. Here's the back side. Ooh, I love the back side of this. Okay, so let's do this. Let me do that. Fish. One can hand cut these out and do lots of great embellishments with them. Salmon here is a big deal. So fishing is a big deal out here. So that will be fun to have. Jeff loves to go fishing off a boat. And then here is some wave water paper. Great for the ocean. Great for the lakes and streams. Now I know this will be familiar for my East Coast folks. There's a lot of beach bikes, right? You can go and rent the beach bikes with the nice seat on it. Actually ended up buying one with a nice seat because I really liked it after I got one down in Hilton Head. Is that Georgia? I think Hilton Head's Georgia. It might be South Carolina. Here's some seagulls, tone on tone. And then seagull paper. I always think of Jonathan Livingston Seagull, if anybody knows that book. And a wonderful plaid. This is the best ever paper if you have fishermen or Coast Guard people. And there's never anything that ever goes wrong with having wood grain paper. And along with buoys and life float things, you get to have your life jacket and oars for rowing. These are more canoe, so this is more of your lake. Because even kayak paddles are different. And then here's that. Pretty cool paper. It's definitely a favorite. And in our catalog, I believe that that's all the pieces that are in here. Yep. Just your paper, your stamps, dies, and these cute little anchors. And of course, I would recommend an add-on of our twine. This is the basic twine that we have. Love it. Good stuff. Which takes us to our 4:30. But really quick before we go, I do want to stamp out these colors in case anybody has the ink pad that might be close enough, right? We do not know. So grabbing a simple stamp on a nice solid stamp. I'm really thinking Periwinkle's going to be the closest on this. I'm just going to pull out one of my little guys. I don't know what this one came from. Oh, maybe in here I might have a Mother's Day stamp set. I am not sure what to do with all these little mini stamp sets that I have from. All right, and we need a nice piece of white paper. Okay, based on the color on the top of the pad, Periwinkle should be the closest. We'll see how close it is. And we're going to write down what color is what this time. Oh boy, I think my internet might be problematic. So this one is going to be Periwinkle. Don't do what I just did. We just dumped this down on there and clean. We're going to stamp that off really quick. And make sure that we clean that off so we actually know what we're looking at. All right. This one was periwinkle. Okay, I'm going to put hydrangea in the middle so that it's comparable to both sides. Definitely is a bluer. Could be also a new ink pad. You know, I haven't used periwinkle in 2 years, I think. Hasn't it been 2 years since we swapped over? Actually, I think so, because May is when we went live. Whoops. This is hydrangea. I always have to look at hydrangea. I can never spell it off the top of my head. And then this is periwinkle. And I think that's too purple. So I would say it's your periwinkle is closer than your wisteria. Oops. Does everybody agree with that? So if you have a hydrangea ink pad, or you want have the periwinkle ink pad, you probably can substitute it out. It's not quite as rich of a blue, but this is also, like I said, a new ink pad. It's not as what do you want to call it, pastel-y as the wisteria, but you probably could get away with it. But I still think spring iris, but you'll have to let me know if somebody can find spring iris in their stash. I could not find it, so I was not able to test it. It's a very old ink color. All right, guys, I will see you on Monday. Thanks for coming for the catalog walkthrough and checking out this in Waterside Retreat. Beautiful paper. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.